This Soonerscoop.com video is streaming in crystal clear 4K resolution on YouTube thanks to Enjoy Vision in Oklahoma City. From the big plays to life's everyday moments, see it all in sharp focus with LASIK at Enjoy Vision. Enjoy Vision. This is where Sooner Scoop LASIKs.
I'm not a big green bean casserole guy.
There you go.
Eddie's not gonna like that one.
I know. I'm sorry, guys. Just I try it every year, and it's like not for me.
What the John?
Man, that was not good for you last night.
Welcome back. Eddie Radosevich, George Stoya here from the Soonerscoop.com studios. Welcome back to a William and Lauren practice report. And I can overlook a lot of things. I can overlook missing wide receivers. I can overlook an offense that hasn't been running up to speed, disparaging the green bean casserole, which is should be a national dish this week on Thanksgiving week.
I do love green bean casserole. I was shocked by that development. I thought for sure he'd be a green bean casserole guy.
I'm literally going to have to go find his parents and talk to him. All right, welcome back. We talked to Brent Venables and Ben Arbuckle on Tuesday. We talked to the players on Monday night, and it is today, Wednesday, leading into another massive weekend. I don't know if we've said it this week. Is this the biggest game of the year again?
Yeah, I mean, every week, we warned you before the season. We warned you that it was going to be like this every game, but this truly is. I mean, talk about the opportunity, and it is because not just because of the opponent, right?
Sure.
Like I don't think in recent weeks it was somewhat the opponent that made it feel that way. This is what's on the table, what
right.
Oklahoma has a chance to do on Saturday, punch their ticket to the college football playoff for the first time since 2019, and first time in the Brent Venables era. It feels like the last 4 years have been building towards this moment, and what it would mean for the program to get into the playoff would just be massive. So it is a huge game, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
There's certainly nothing to celebrate yet, but I do think that the last month or so, I think I was thrown out there on maybe Monday or Tuesday this week, that Oklahoma over the course of the month of November with the 3 top 25 wins, I think that equals the likes of Ohio State has all season just in the 1 month. That means very little, but in terms of building, I think, just maybe having a little bit of a tangible evidence to say, yeah, they're moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
The season as a whole has been phenomenal for Oklahoma.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a huge step in the right direction for the program. Last year it was so much of a failure.
Sure.
On so many levels a year ago, and obviously there's a multitude of reasons for why it failed a year ago, but for Oklahoma to be able to fix a lot of those issues, bring in some good players, bring in a quarterback and an offensive coordinator. I know there's a lot of people out there that are critical of them right now, but they wouldn't be in this spot without those two right now. Brent Venables taking over play calling. We talked about that in the previous practice report, and obviously some of the other portal guys they've gotten. It's been a huge step for the program, and you look, we've talked about in the recruiting report what it can do for that, as well as what the transfer portal holds. So yeah, huge step in the right direction, and now you just got to go finish it. You got to go build on this momentum, go win on Saturday, and then see what can happen in the playoff. I know there's a lot of people that don't think Oklahoma can win in the playoff, but you just got to get in, man. You get your foot in the door. You never know what can happen.
Just got to get in the dance, have an opportunity. That would be more than 100 plus other schools would have than the 12 that do get invited. It certainly has been led by a defense that it seemingly is getting better each week, which is kind of crazy to think, because I think that there were points throughout, whether it be Michigan or Auburn, early in the season. Then they had the setback in Dallas. They had the setback here in Norman, just up the street against Ole Miss. You wondered kind of what this defense was. I think I said that after the Ole Miss game, like this team's supposed to be elite, right? Why couldn't they get off the field on third down? Since then, they have gotten off the field, and they've gotten off the field quite a bit against really good offenses. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, they're extremely fun to watch, and what a juxtaposition from what it was just a few years ago under the Lincoln Riley regime, where it was not fun to watch the defense play. So they've done an awesome job, and like you said, they've had some setbacks at times this year, but overall been really solid. Like that Texas game, they kept Oklahoma in that game for a long time, and finally the dam broke. And then the Ole Miss game, I think they just ran into a team that was playing extremely good football, and Lane Kiffin and the job he does offensively also that was another game where it felt like the defense played pretty good at times and then, fell apart at certain times. So they've been tremendous. They're the reason why they're sitting here. Obviously, there's other reasons. Tate Sandell, we'll get to him in a minute. The offense not turning the ball over, but ultimately this defense, they're leaning on it right now to win some of these close games. Before
we get to some of the players that talked about being oh so close to clinching a college or a spot in the college football playoff, let us tell you about our good friends over at Home Field. HomeFieldApparel.com, the premium collegiate apparel brand based in Indianapolis, known, as we've told you, week in and week out for their comfortable, officially licensed apparel with vintage college designs. Got the coach's jacket, the bomber jacket, the crew necks, even got hats in there if you're willing. HomeFieldApparel.com, and it's never a bad time to start thinking about maybe some stocking stuffers for the loved ones.
I've been shopping on there already, so I don't know when my stuff will get in. It'll come in before Christmas because I'm shopping early, but they have a great selection of OU gear, whether it's football stuff. You see the jacket there. They've got all sorts of good stuff for the winter. Also some basketball, some cool basketball stuff too. I know basketball's, it's going on right now, so now is the time to get some of that stuff.
You're going to even maybe possibly want it before the Bedlam experience, the doubleheader over at Paycom Center, December 13th, coming up just around the corner. All you got to do is go to HomeFieldApparel.com and get your gear today. Thank you to our good friends over at Home Field. All right, we will now begin the program here as, we talked to Kip Lewis, we talked to Gracen Halton, we talked to Dominic Williams, Kendall Daniels, a number of the defensive guys on Monday night. You can watch all of their individual interviews on the SoonerScoop.com editorial page, but it is kind of twofold in that this defense is playing extremely well. It feels like when those 11 run out onto the field, they can stop just about anybody in the country, combined with an idea that you're now just 4 quarters away from punching the ticket.
Yeah, this defense, like you said, they can play with anybody, and that gives Oklahoma a shot against anyone in the country. Now, the offense has got to figure it out and all that, but the reason Oklahoma is 4 quarters away, like I said earlier, is because of the defense, the way that they've played this year. I think they're the best defense in the country. I know there's some stats, whether you want to look at total offense and scoring, or total defense and, scoring defense and all of that. I think they're in the top 10 in a lot of different categories, but in terms of just being able to get off the field, make plays when you absolutely need them, get turnovers, turn them into touchdowns, like all of those things is what makes this defense so great. And they're playing at such a high level right now that you just feel confident that other teams are going to have a very difficult time scoring any points against this defense.
I think that's why in the second quarter, in the first half, this past week against Missouri, they get up 7-3. And it's like, I feel pretty good about this. Yeah. All of a sudden, it became 14-3. And it's like, if they can keep it a 2-score game the entire way, you feel really good about it. Here is a number of the Oklahoma defenders talking about peaking at the right time on the defensive side of the ball, as well as, it's in the back of their minds. It's not new or forbidden to speak about a college football playoff hopeful here coming up in a couple days.
I think we caught our stride very, very well, and so just keep coming in, keep doing what we're doing. Don't change the process now.
You mentioned catching your stride. What's been maybe the most important factor in that in these last few games?
Just hammering down on details, small things, sticking to just the basics. That's what leads up to just the greatest sum of all, just little basics. So just been hammering on that all week.
Have you allowed yourself to think about just kind of how special it is, final home game, chance to clinch a spot in the college football playoff?
That's special, especially like on senior night too, last game. It's really special, but, once Saturday come, we just got to just play the game. That's what it's at. You can't worry about anything else but just winning that game.
Not really. I don't really think into all that. I mean, I played a lot of football, and I know that once you start looking forward and stuff like that, you'll lose the one that's ahead of you. So, when it's LSU, it's not like they're a bad team. They're 7-4. I mean, it's always – growing up, I wanted to go to LSU, and it's LSU Tigers. So you don't just look forward to anything past this game.
Yeah, we were just talking to my class that came in, all of us together, and I was like, guys, this is like what we've been wanting, been dreaming for, and so it's just surreal that we have opportunity to just go out there and go do it.
Yeah, just trying to be able to just. When you start looking forward and, Big 12 championships, you lose some games that you shouldn't have. and then you look back and you're like, well, I should have just been focused on that week, and I'm cherishing these moments because it's my senior year. So time is my enemy right now. So I just kind of take in the small things and, practices, hard practices with the guys, and just enjoy the time that we have together.
Do you think that kind of helps you, go play this weekend and maybe play a little bit looser, knowing that level of appreciation is there?
Yeah, definitely has that. Just always want to give max effort, give it all out for my teammates, for the team, and what we can, and have the opportunity to do.
We're going to talk a little bit more about the senior group that, we'll be going through senior day coming up on Saturday, but really it's just a special kind of situation for them to play their final home game in Norman with obviously the hopeful of hosting a playoff game,
right?
But their final regular season game in Norman at Owen Field with these expectations where they were coming from and sticking with Brent, obviously at the beginning of the Venables coaching era here in Norman as the head coach to now where it is and what they've been able to build.
Yeah, it's crazy. You think back 4 years ago and where this program was, it was nowhere near where it is right now in terms of getting into the playoff. And in their second year, sure, you had some moments where it felt like Oklahoma,
sure,
you beat Texas and all of that, but a lot of those guys weren't huge contributors on that team. Some of them I think Kip Lewis played a little bit on that team, but now in your fourth year, you really have a chance to kind of leave a legacy, leave something behind and say, hey, we were able to get to the college football playoff and we were able to punch that ticket on our home field on senior night. I think that would mean a lot to these guys.
Let's talk Oklahoma offense. We talked to John Mateer on Monday night. We talked to Ben Arbuckle on Tuesday at the weekly media luncheon. And, I don't get a sense that there's a whole lot of panic.
Yeah.
That might concern some people out there. But at the same time, it doesn't seem like when they talk to us that they're lost by any means. I don't know if I'm doing a good job explaining that, but I think that there is a plan. They know they need to go out and execute it. It's not like they don't know why they're failing out there.
Yeah, look, and I think that they know that it's not good. I think that they've kind of admitted that, and I know there's a lot of people screaming like, oh, well, if it's not good, then fix it. I think they're trying to. I think they're trying to figure it out.
Oh, wait a second. You guys, you didn't tell us? Now we'll start playing better.
Exactly, and so I think that they're trying to figure it out. They're trying to find things that John Mateer is comfortable with. He talked a lot last night about just taking the easy stuff.
Sure.
And that's something that he hasn't been great at this year. Last week it was all about pushing the ball down the field. Well, they came out and they did that and they just couldn't connect on them. So how do you connect on those moving forward? And how do you find a run game? How do you find a rhythm? That was something that was a huge talking point with Ben Arbuckle, is like, how do you get back into having a rhythm on offense? And I think that's the biggest thing, is finding a way to sustain drives. You don't need to score in every possession. You have a great defense. You have great special teams. But if you can just score a few more points than you have been in recent weeks, then I like Oklahoma's chances against anybody. Nobody's asking this offense to be perfect, but if you can just be a little bit better and a little bit more efficient, then I think that you have a chance to not only win some of these games, but maybe win them handily.
Here is John Mateer on Monday night, as well as Ben Arbuckle, talking about Oklahoma finding a little bit of rhythm, finding a little bit of direction offensively.
Yeah, it's a blessing to have the opportunity to do something like this, and this is something you've dreamed of, or I've dreamed of my whole life. Having the perspective to see the opportunity is great, but also understand it's just another game, kind of. I don't mean that, but it's the most important game because it's the game we have.
It feels like this offense has just been stuck in the mud at times. How do you guys get out of the mud?
Yeah, we watched it, and I think it's a lot of me. Just taking short, easy stuff. Keep us in efficient, situations down and distances, and then hitting the shots. Those are game changers. And tried it a little more and just didn't land them, which is fine. We'll get better.
Those shots, is that just a timing and chemistry thing? You guys just got to work on those more? Or?
Yeah, just getting more game reps at it.
Yeah, it's just whenever you're in practice, not overlooking it, because sometimes whenever you get in practice, you want to, against a different look, you want to make a different throw and make sure, I feel comfortable making this throw in this moment. And you just can't lose sight of taking the easy access out there. You can't go broke taking a profit. That's a saying in football. It's a saying for offenses pretty much everywhere in the entire world. And you can't lose sight of that. So taking the easy access, just the layups right there to keep us efficient on schedule and in manageable situations. That's really a big key to staying on the field while also still being aggressive. aggressive and not being scared to, take the ball downfield. We got to connect on some of those opportunities too, but it starts with taking the easy stuff, being efficient, getting the ball out of your hand, and going on to the next play.
The touchdown to Javonnie just seems so seamless. And I know he's been trying to get back. You've been trying to get back. Is this maybe an opportunity where the timing is starting to be right?
Yeah, we had a good play call dialed up, and he did it perfect. If you watch the tape and then you watch practice tape, I know y'all can't, but he did exactly what he was coached, and he took it to Saturday, and that's why it worked so well.
You had to learn how to handle these environments like the ones you're going to face on Saturday, just either on the road or at home when you have big stadiums, loud crowds, all that.
Yeah, it's definitely a little different, a little stimulating, but it's part of growing up, part of being at the big stage. And first game against Illinois State, I remember being like, oh my God, like the walk of champions, like I've never been a part of this before, and now I don't want to say I'm used to it. I still love it, and it's still awesome, but it's just I'm able to process more and just it's normal.
It sounds like you're kind of saying, like, I've got to learn to control my emotions in that situation.
Yeah, you got to be disciplined, and you can't just look around and be like, this is so cool. You got a job to do.
If you eat green bean casserole, maybe it could be at a situation where it was like the spinach for Popeye.
That'd be awesome.
That's the way it is for me. It used to be nicotine. Now it's just green bean casserole. All right. There has been, I guess, some I wouldn't say just standouts, but I do want to highlight two players on the offensive side of the ball. First, Isaiah Sategna. He's 173 yards away from a 1,000-yard season. Obviously, that would be a tremendous feat if he could get there on Saturday against LSU. And then Javonnie Gibson, who found the end zone for the first time in a Sooner uniform last weekend.
Yeah, it feels like those are the two guys right now. I think Deion Burks is still going to be part of the mix, but he just hasn't really been that guy that I think a lot of us thought.
I can't quit Keontae Lewis. I know he hasn't done much, but I can't quit him.
I kind of think he should be out there more. I just think that he's a guy that is reliable, but in terms of Sategna, obviously he's their best offensive playmaker. I mean, he's a guy that needs to get 5 or more touches a game. That's probably way too less. Like way too. He needs way more than that. He needs to get the ball. And then Javonnie, I think he's just going to get better and better. We heard back in the spring how big of a playmaker he was. I think some of those shots down the field that they want to take, I'd take some towards Javonnie just because I think he has such a huge catch radius. He's so physical. He's not going to have breakaway speed.
The unbelievable grab that he would have had on the east sidelines, or the west sidelines on Saturday.
Right. So I think that both of those guys, getting them more involved, maybe you can find something there. That doesn't mean they're going to all of a sudden be some great offense, but if you can have two guys that you feel good about getting the ball, and they're both different, right? Like they're very different receivers. Like I said, Sategna with the speed and the agility versus Javonnie and the kind of the size and physicality. I think that you could have something there. So I think getting both those guys going would be huge for Oklahoma.
And I would say also that just because you didn't connect against Missouri doesn't mean that you stray away from
going at it,
taking shots with the vertical passing game.
Yeah, and I mean, and you heard John. I asked him, what is it that you need to do to, get on those? It's more game reps. Sure. And I know there's only one game left, but you might as well keep working on it. And again, keeping the defense honest. Sometimes it's not about just connecting on those. It's about making sure the defense knows, hey, we're going to try and connect on some of these, and if you connect on one of them, then all of a sudden it could open up a lot of other stuff.
You golf nerds would know that this. I feel like this is kind of like using a new driver. You got to get it out and play at some point, and keep hitting that thing and finding the fairway. All right, here is Ben Arbuckle talking about Isaiah Sategna on Tuesday, as well as catching up with Javonnie Gibson on Monday night, who I think if you just take a little bit of time and listen to Javonnie, you're going to like him. He's a lot of fun to speak with. Take a quick time out from the practice report to tell you about our good friends over at Lucy. 100% pure nicotine, always tobacco-free. Lucy Breakers are the nicotine pouches with an extra surprise. Each pouch holds a capsule that can be broken open to release extra flavor and hydration. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to set yourself up with a subscription because they will have it delivered straight to your door. All you got to do is go to lucy.co/SoonerScoop. Use the promo code SoonerScoop. Different flavors to choose from: the mint, the mango, the berry citrus, apple cider, apple ice, wintergreen, which is a favorite around here, around the offices of SoonerScoop.com. Different size milligrams as well. You can get the 4, you can get the 8, you can get the 12 milligram if you're a big boy. What you want to do is go to lucy.co/SoonerScoop. Use the promo code SoonerScoop. And we must also tell you that this is going to be a 20% discount. Lucy has a 30-day refund policy. If you change your mind, And here comes the fine print, folks. Lucy products are only for adults of legal age, and every order is age verified. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Thank you to our good friends over at Lucy, outfitting us always with the lip pillows. Thank you. Let's also tell you about our good friends over at Tushy. Tushy, you have one of the Tushy bidets in your home, George. Tell us about it.
Yeah, we've been trying to get you to get one, also get one here in the office.
I will get one if you come let me videotape you using one.
Okay, well, maybe we probably won't be doing that. But it's super awesome, super easy to install. And once you get it installed, Eddie, no more itching down there. It's all clean, less toilet paper use. It's all around a great product to have.
99% of the people who wash with Tushy Wave feel cleaner and fresher after going to the bathroom. Tushy Wave instantly modernizes your daily routine and bathroom with a super sleek seat plus 2 separate front and rear nozzles for the most complete clean. All you got to do is go to hellotushy.com/SoonerScoop. Remember, a-hole is only a naughty word if you wipe. For a limited time, our listeners get 10% off their first bidet order when you use code SoonerScoop at checkout. That's 10% off your first bidet order at hellotushy.com with the promo code SoonerScoop. Thank you to our good friends and sponsors. Now back to the program.
Yeah, I think he has an awesome skill set. If you look back to when he was at high school, all right, he was a 100-meter champion, can roll whenever he gets out in the open field, hits a runner. I mean, you saw it the other day. Whenever he gets out in the open field and hits his stride, he's really hard to catch. And so that's a special skill set right there. But I think his route running, he's very crisp. He's very crafty in his route running and the ability to get open and, has really good hands. At the end of the day, he's what you want a lot of receivers to be, just from a holistic standpoint. And so tackle that on with the reliability that he has shown all year and the consistency that he's shown all year. I mean, it's just put him in a position to have a lot of success. And the coolest part about Isaiah, he's really pretty humble about all of it too. He just shows back up and starts the process all over. So, glad we have that guy.
Yes, I feel like we've seen a lot of growth. Just staying after practice like today, working on the back shoulders, over the shoulders, stuff like that is all going to come together.
Does this game coming up this weekend mean anything more to you as a Louisiana kid?
Yeah, I feel like if I didn't go there, I want to play them, so that's what I feel like. I always want to go there, but I just felt like I came over here, so yeah, I don't know.
They ruled you out of bounds on the sideline on that catch you made. Were you out of bounds? Do you think you were in?
Nah, when I looked at the review, I think I caught that.
How rewarding was it to score a few plays later if you thought you were in?
You ever heard of something like ball don't lie? I feel like that's what happened.
Did you know? I mean, I think the whole team was like, why are they calling a timeout? Like, no one in the stadium really realized how close that catch was. I mean, is that something that you feel like you've been close to? Like, you can be known for making those kind of catches that people just don't think are really believable?
Yes, sir. I feel like anytime the ball come my way, I'm going to make the catch. That's my mindset the whole time.
I know it's been slower than everybody kind of thought it would be for Javonnie Gibson, but I think at the same time we kind of forget the type of leap he was making from Arkansas Pine Bluff, George.
Yeah, and he breaks his leg in spring.
Sure.
Like the fact he's out there and even contributing and he's never played at this level. I asked him yesterday about playing in front of a crowd like this. He's like, it's a lot of people. He was playing in practically high school stadiums.
It's in the sights and sounds, but when he was walking into Neyland before the team, I was right there, and he was just looking around. It was kind of one of those cool moments. Like, damn, he really did that coming from Arkansas Pine Bluff and now taking the field in Knoxville.
He's got a great story. I've written about it on SoonerScoop.com. You can go and find it, but I've written about it a couple times. He doesn't come from a whole lot, and obviously his background, in Louisiana. That's the other thing too. I don't know if people know this. He actually started his career as a quarterback. Went and played tight end at Arkansas Monticello, which is like a junior college, and then he transferred to wide receiver and transferred to Arkansas Pine Bluff and just blew up and had a great season. And a lot of people think he has a lot of tremendous skills and athleticism. So he's only been playing wide receiver a few years now, and obviously he's never played at this level. So it's going to take some time, but Oklahoma does believe that they maybe have something special in Javonnie Gibson.
Not going to quit him either.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk defensive line. I know that we mentioned on Tuesday's practice report that Todd Bates had been named a nominee for the Frank Broyles Award, awarded annually to the top assistant in the country. And when you look at his group, we talked about it at the beginning of the season, like, hey, they have a chance maybe to be the best defensive line in the country. I think that they are one of the if not the, they are the.
Yeah, I think
that didn't even make sense.
I know what you're saying. No, I think so. I think they're right in that conversation.
Sure.
And part of it is just the depth. I think that the depth is what makes it so good. And you add on top of that some really valuable experience in Gracen, Halton, even Damonic Williams. Damonic Williams, he was talking about it yesterday. This year and his first year at TCU, in which they played for the national championship, will always hold a special place in his heart and his college football career. It's like, man, they have a guy on their team that's played in the national championship in Damonic Williams, and that experience is invaluable. And then a guy like Gracen Halton, who's kind of come up the hard way in Oklahoma, was one of those guys that has stuck it out his all 4 years and has really been great. And then obviously the young guys in David Stone and Jaden Jackson, even a Marcus Strong, and then obviously the edge guys. They've had so many different players, step up there. So yeah, this defensive line, I think the depth and the experience combined is what makes it such a great group.
And I would think that, and you'll hear him talking about it here shortly, but when you're just talking about development from day one to where he is now, most likely going to be drafted, and talking about Gracen Halton, he should be, or maybe is, the poster boy for Oklahoma football, and Todd Bates and Brent Venables buying in, because he was one of those guys. And as you're going to hear from him talking about, those first couple of years in Norman were not always a cakewalk. I think he was one of the guys that was most of the time identified as somebody that needed to do a little bit of maturing. He certainly is seen as one of the leaders on that defensive line now, and certainly one of the biggest playmakers for Oklahoma on the defensive front.
Yeah, and you look at his background, and he wasn't a David Stone in terms of his recruitment and being a 5-star and all these expectations. He's had to work his way getting into the starting lineup and being what he is now. He didn't really play a whole lot his first couple of years. Played quite a bit last year, and now he's a senior veteran leader on this team. And I think you're exactly right. He's the poster boy for what Todd Bates and Miguel Chavis and Brent Venables want to do on that side of the ball in terms of just pure player development.
Two guys that'll be going through the senior day festivities on Saturday. Here is Gracen Halton, Damonic Williams, just talking about kind of their journey and obviously the season as a whole. You'll hear Damonic Williams talk about this is the best football he's played of his career.
Do you feel like you personally are playing the best football of your career right now?
Yeah, yes, sir. Especially like having Coach Bates by my side, having Gracen Halton by my side, so all those guys keep pushing me, making me want to do better every single rep, every single day. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's meant a lot. I know like going into the season, I know this was the last go around for me, and so I just really had the mindset just do anything I can do for the team. Whether that's on the field, it's off the field, having a great mindset, being a leader. And it's been great, the hardest part is just being consistent, but I feel like, having my teammates around me, having guys that's hungry, having guys that's got the same mindset as me has helped me out. And, it's been going well. It's been going great this year, and I'm just blessed.
Can you talk about just in terms of, can you put into words the development just for you from day one that you got here to now? I mean, you named defensive lineman of the week today.
Yeah, I'm still surprised. When I came here, I didn't even know how to play defensive tackle really. Didn't know what a 2-out was, a 3 was. So, just overcoming, a lot of obstacles, overcoming adversity, and I couldn't do it alone. Coach V, Coach Bates, Coach Chavis, all the coaching staff that's been here, they helped me throughout the way. So I'm blessed to have them by my side. I'm just blessed to be where I'm at right now.
I mean, he definitely helped me break down the game a lot more, honestly, and just having him also grow me as a man, not just as a football player, but as one day I'm gonna be a father. So it's just having him take those steps and sit me down one-on-one, saying, "Hey, Dom, this is what we need from you. This is what you gotta do. You gotta lock in this, and that." He paved the way step by step.
Yeah, that's my guy. My heart. Everything. He just stuck by me. When I wasn't, at my best. What I'm saying, just doing childish things. Freshman year, sophomore year, not being locked in. He was right there with me. He believed in me, still does, and I'm grateful for that man, and I appreciate him, everything that he's done.
Pretty cool story there with Gracen Halton, and certainly would be also really cool if Todd Bates could be a finalist and get over to Little Rock for the Frank Broyles Award, one of the, kind of premier awards for assistant coaches in the country. Last but not least, Oklahoma kicker Tate Sandell was named a finalist on the Lou Grozo Award, along with the kicker from Georgia Tech, as well as the Tokyo Toe from Hawaii. You look at his resume, it's going to be hard to beat. I mean, I don't know if you took a look at the note package that Oklahoma put together, communication staff, Mike Halkin, friends. 22 of 23. I mean, this thing is a lengthy list of accolades. I'll just highlight a couple. 22 for 23 on field goal attempts this season. That leads the SEC at 96%. Has made a school record 22 straight field goal tries. Has made a school, although you want him to miss one, don't you?
No, you were the one that was like, he needs to miss one.
I wouldn't be the worst thing. I don't think it'd be the worst thing. I know that's controversial, but it's kind of like an NCAA tournament team going in, or a team going into the NCAA tournament. Yeah. I'm never a big go win the conference tournament guy because I think it starts fresh when the playoffs begin. Neither here nor there. He'll probably miss one. They'll lose, and I'll feel like a real asshole. Has made a school record 4 field goals of 55-plus yards. The one that really sticks out to me, he's averaging 42 yards per field goal.
Yeah, it's crazy.
42 yards per field goal. There was times where Oklahoma, you kind of got nervous if they were outside of 42 yards just in general. The next closest, he's made 22 field goals from 42 yards or more. Is that right? No. That is not right. As I went through my brain, it's been a long day, folks. Forgive me. I'm ready for Thanksgiving and green bean casserole, and then John Mateer derailed me. 42 yards distance, though. That's it.
Yeah, it's incredible. Is it 7 for 7 from 50?
7 for 7 from 50 plus.
That's an insane. That's why I think he'll end up winning the award.
10 for 10 on field goal tries of 45 plus yards. Yeah. That's what I was looking for. Has made an OU single season record. 15 field goals of 40 plus yards. Previous record was 9.
Yeah,
he's had an incredible year. He's one of It's kind of crazy to say, maybe one of the most important players on Oklahoma's team. And as a whole, for Doug Deacon's special teams group, they've been fantastic all season.
Yeah, I think they rank, I want to say, in the top 15 in SP+, which is ESPN's efficiency metrics.
Sure.
And so one of the best special teams units in the country. And you look at, obviously, what Tate Sandell's done, and he's going to get kind of the highlights for all that. But Gracen Miller's been fantastic, SEC Player of the Week this week. He's been great. Sategna on the punt return, other than the couple fumbles, he's been really good. So
we've talked about Elijah Thomas, Michael Boganowski, guys that just bust their ass down the field on the coverage units.
Their coverage units have been awesome. So overall, the special teams have been a big difference maker for Oklahoma. I don't think they win some of these games without the special teams unit. So I think that it's a credit to Doug Deacon and obviously Brent Venables, who hired Doug Deacon, but also for the staff being able to go and find some guys like a Tate Sandell that can really help them.
On Tuesday, the question was asked of Brent Venables, when did he get an idea that this could be a special unit in terms of Oklahoma special teams? And then a little bit more on Tate Sandell.
Prior to the season, with so many returning guys, last year there were some things that were really good. We gave up a late in our season, regular season finale at LSU. We had been really good until that happened. I think we were top 5 in the country. And then that happened where we gave up a 90-plus yard kickoff return. But again, that was year 2 for several players. Year 1 for a bunch of freshmen like Boganowski and Powers and Hardy, all played significant roles for us a year ago. And that with all of the other guys just start thinking about the linebacker room and the safety room in particular. And then some of the guys this is year 2 for them, year 3, year 4. Guys are really understanding. They're hearing the message, buying into the message, seeing the impact through maturity and through some success. So prior to the season was really hopeful. And then we were able to, make ourselves better through the portal, as well, with some of the specialists.
To see just the season he's had.
Yeah, it's been a huge part of our success this year. Proud of him, how he's handled his success. He's the same guy every day. Really, really high standards. He's actually a great leader, not just by showing up every day and working and things like that, but he's got a big voice. Players really like the things he has to say. He'll stand up and not flinch in front of the team. Just a very, as I told you guys before, he looks at himself just a little guy, but he don't see himself as just a little guy. And so he's got a lot of courage and toughness to him that resonates with the rest of the team.
Talk about the defense, but the special teams for Oklahoma here as of late too. You think about some of the forced fumbles that they've been able to recover. Tate Sandell's been fantastic. It's you got a bunch of phases here that are working in the right direction. If you can just get that offense, as we talked about at the top of the show. Yeah,
if you can just get the offense just a little bit better, you're not asking for much, then you feel like you're in a really good spot, because I do think Oklahoma has a championship-level defense. I think they have a championship-level special teams. So now the offense just has to kind of get with it.
No doubt about it. All right, that's going to do it for the William and Lauren practice report. We will be back with the unofficial 40. You're going to want to watch the family business this week. Got a special guest.
Big one.
Am I allowed to say? Possibly. Yes. Coach Bob Stoops joining us on the family business. Big game Bob. It was good to see him when he came by the offices over here at Suter Scoop. So that's it. Everybody have a great Thanksgiving. We will reconvene, have a game day rewind for you on Thanksgiving. Everybody should, did I say review?
Yeah, you said rewind.
I'm telling you.
Your brain's lost, man.
It's done. It's done up here. I am going to say, it's going to be a family program, and everybody should gather around on Thanksgiving and watch it in between the two football games.
There you go.
The Lions and the Packers, and then the Cowboys and the Chiefs. It would be a great thing to bring everybody together and introduce ourselves. All right, that's going to do it. George Stoya, Eddie Radosevich. We'll see you back here on the SuterScoop.com YouTube channel.